now emergency rooms are going to see an increase because when it's a life or death situation, they're going to have to serve them. And at that point, that's when it's going to become very expensive for the country.
What's your take, Eric, on because we mentioned this week, something came up. We are in Texas with the governor, right? And you're in health, Eric. So that's the reason why I'm asking you on what is your take, what Greg Abbott is thinking.
Yeah, so for those that haven't heard, Greg Abbott out of Texas, the Texas governor, is planning an order to require that Texas public hospitals collect patients' immigration status. Now, the headline in itself, it seems like, wait, I mean, that could scare a lot of people from getting health services and things like that. They'll avoid getting attention for medical issues, which, of course, Latinos, there's a lot of different medical issues that have cropped up for Latinos. This is, in general, doesn't seem like a good sign. I think what we've seen, though, is that Greg Abbott is trying to say that this is going to be a way for Texas to request federal reimbursement for, having to help undocumented immigrants that are here in this state. So there's these types of headlines that come across a lot. There's a lot of politics involved in that. But how do you see, Raul, what are the main issues or what are the main problems that you're trying to solve for immigrants, whether they're undocumented or not?
We started this podcast, we really don't get much into politics. We just try to solve issues, solve societal problems. I'm more pragmatic when it comes to that. I think that this could backfire and it would actually be far more expensive for the state, because if an undocumented worker or someone who has an undocumented family member begins to prevent what would be just a routine checkup or a routine access to a medic, and now suddenly they're not going because they're concerned, what's going to happen is that now emergency rooms are going to see an increase because when it's a life or death situation, they're going to have to serve them. And at that point, that's when it's going to become very expensive for the country and for the state and for the county and for the city. So bottom line is how do we educate? At Saberes Poder, we began to educate them the difference between emergency room and urgent care. We began to educate to them to understand that if you go to the emergency room, it really should be a life or death situation. If it's something that can be solved by a visit to the urgent care, and now they know, and guess what? Now they don't go to the emergency room, which reduces the cost to the taxpayer. So I would tell, to Governor Abbott, unfortunately, he has underneath him, his lieutenant governor, and don't get me going with the other people. They're so far to the right that as a politician, he needs to move himself further to the right so that he can continue to be a successful politician. It is unfortunate, but that's the reality of politics.
Right. And so you mentioned that, one of the biggest issues that your platform wants to solve is the health aspect. We do know that if you push off those medical visits, things do get worse. And I think that's what you're alluding to when, you say, he could be kind of making things worse in that regard. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We love to hear from you. Let us know what you thought about this episode. If you have any questions for Raul, drop them in the comments and we'll get them answered. If you haven't watched our viral Bitcoin all-time high meme remix, go check it out on our channel. It's got lots of hits. I think that's all we've got for today. Dale.
Peace.